Driving cross town or cross country, you have the type of power and performance.
My name's Dan Bickle, and this is my 1956 Chevrolet Two-Ten.
Chevrolet for 56 is truly a winner.
The reason I wanted a 56 is because it reminds me so much of the 1950s. Rock and roll was big, a lot of kids doing rock and roll. Sock hops, we all went dancing. You had Elvis Presley, Gene Vincent, Chuck Berry, and a whole bunch of those rock and roll artists that was just a blast to go to the rock and roll shows, dances, and enjoy ourselves. So that set the stage for a lot of kids wanting a car from that era. That's kind of why I ended up with the 56 Chevrolet. A friend of mine in high school, a guy by the name of Marvin, had a 56 Chevrolet. We couldn't believe he could afford it or had it because it wasn't but about 2 years old and none of us had any money. It was black, real beautiful, lowered, and it had that gas cap that flops open, and it had all these little trick things on them. It had a Chevrolet new V8 that they had created that made it run like crazy.
The new Turbo Fire V8 engine, most compact, most advanced power plant in the industry. 162 horsepower with new fire swirl combustion chambers and a full 8-to-1 compression ratio.
And so just by coincidence, I stumbled across this one, and I'm going to have that 56 Chevrolet finally. I got a couple of friends of mine that had built cars before and knew a lot about different kind of cars and whatever. We had to decide if this car had enough of the original parts that was even worth rebuilding, like the chrome around the windows, the chrome down the sides, the bumpers, the grille, that could make it worth rebuilding and not be too expensive. So you had to have all those parts to start with. So we evaluated the car sitting in this guy's yard, looked at it, decided that it was worth whatever he was asking for it, and so I bought it. We loaded it up on a trailer, hauled it over to this other guy's garage so we could look at it some more. We decided to take the body off of the frame. So we took all the interior out and threw it away, pulled the body off the frame, and so we had the body sitting over here and the frame sitting over there. So that's how we ended up with the 56 Chevrolet, but it was a wreck. After we got the thing home, we had to try to make up our mind what we wanted it to look like and what we wanted it to be. So that's when you start evaluating the features that you want to put in it. One of the favorite things I wanted, I had a specific color that I wanted called Guards Red. Bought a couple of gallons of paint to paint it with, but of course we had to do all the body work first, but we decided to do that. I had a friend that worked for a leather company, and he had access to a lot of leather. Why don't you just put leather in the whole interior and everything leather? I said, let's do it. So we went and bought the leather, all one dye lot, so it's all matched, enough to do the upholstery for the whole car, seats, headliner, everything. So that's one of my favorite features of the car. That and a custom console that another friend of mine made for me. It's really, really nice and offsets the car. After we took the car apart, sat down and analyzed what the car looked like and what we were going to do, one of the main things that all the hot rodders got to have is a special engine or special stuff. So we looked around, and I didn't want to put like a 1956 Chevrolet engine type in it. I wanted to put like a contemporary engine, like on a new Corvette or something.
America still builds rockets.
The performance is outstanding, and you can reprogram the computers to generate over 400 horsepower pretty easy. So we decided to go with an LS motor and a 6-speed manual transmission. After we got the car all painted, got it all put together, and got everything done, and got wheels and tires, and it was time for a test drive. Me and one of the other guys that helped thought, okay, we're going to test drive this car because we'd never heard the motor run.
Can we do it again?
So we were all excited about driving it because it's got the 6-speed manual transmission, got the big LS Corvette motor. You can go as fast as you could possibly want to go with the car because the rear end ratio on the gears is real low. So it's just a blast to drive. If you had one word to describe it, just extremely satisfying. For putting all the pieces together and finding all the stuff it took to make it the whole car and painting it, you feel real good about the work and the car. I sit back and look at my car thinking, you know, will Joe Schmo know that that's Dan Bickle's car? I like to think that we've put certain features in there, like we could raise the hood and all you see is the motor. We put the battery in the trunk and built a rack for it, a special rack for it in the trunk. And we put the battery back there and ran all the cables under up to the starter. And then we thought about, okay, we got that windshield wipers, a great gigantic motor almost sitting on the back of the firewall. So we took that and put the windshield wipers under the dash so you can't see the windshield wiper motors at all. And we took them off of a MG car.
MG gives you the sun.
The MG cars run on a cable. And so we put them in under that dash so they run on a cable instead of like the regular arms that a windshield wiper would. Then we took the power brake booster, all the brakes, and when we had the car taken apart, we mounted all that to the frame, the chassis, and ran all the brake pedals and clutch pedals through the floorboard. Instead of hanging down, they go through the floorboard, so we could put the power brakes under the car. When I go to shows to show the car, one of the things most people comment on when you have the hood up at a car show is, wow, man, that engine compartment is unbelievable. Where's all the stuff? You know, we want to go to the car shows because we're proud of it, but we want to share the car with other guys that we all talk about them and what they look like, what'd you do and why didn't you do it. So we go to a lot of car shows. We've been to Monroe, Louisiana, we've been to San Antonio, we've been to a lot of different car shows around Texas and showed the car. We've won a lot of awards, first place awards for the paint, first place awards for just the car in general. So it's been nice. My favorite award would be Outstanding Interior. A lot of guys have great paint jobs, a lot of guys have this, a lot of guys have that. Maybe they have an LS motor, I don't know. But very few cars have a custom-made everything. The front seats are bucket seats, but they came out of another car that we had to cut them down to make them fit. We refitted the back seats, we redid the whole interior with that 100% leather. So I'm proud of the interior of that car. When we get down to taking care of one of these things, I've got a place in the garage that I can park it and leave it in the garage. Plus, I have a car cover I'll put over it. And then about every 30, 60 days, I use a clay bar with spray wax and wax it all down and clean it up and vacuum it, even though it doesn't need it. But about every 60 days, I go give it a complete wax job. It's very well maintained. All the bolts and nuts are stainless steel, which is very unusual and expensive, but we put all bolts and nuts so they don't rust. All the chrome is show chrome, all the original chrome has been polished. Everything is just a well done car.
Talking about it, there's a fly swimming around your head.
Oh, I could see him, but I wasn't gonna.
I was like, do you want me to cut or?
No, put him in there. He deserves a shot.